We started our morning with breakfast at our hotel, which was included in the price of the room. We dedicated today strictly for Venice. Having seen all the other islands, now we're going to spend a day exploring the island of Venice.
Today was all about Venice.
It's a very touristy area, but this bridge is an engineering marvel. It may not seem so now, but back when this was constructed, this bridge was one of the longest spanning bridges of its time.
We both did our own thing here. Matt went one way, I went the other. I went to the bridge to overlook the Grand Canal and just be a tourist, just taking in the delight of the city with all the other tourists. It was absolutely fantastic, and the lighting was phenomenal, and the sounds of the water and the boats and the people, it was just magical.
I'll say one thing about the Rialto Bridge. It's a great way to watch canal traffic go by. Cars are not allowed in Venice, so everything that is shipped into Venice comes in by boat, and then it's offloaded and moved around the city with these trolleys. From the Rialto Bridge, we set off in search of the fish market.
Being in the markets are always interesting because you have a mix of tourists walking through and taking pictures, and then you have the people who live there that are shopping for their groceries.
Another thing I find interesting about the markets is you see produce that I don't even know what it is, or it's some weird variant of something we have.
These are all pre-made risottos that you can just pour into the pot and add water.
Finally found the fish market. Nations love to eat fish. Seafood is a big part of their diet.
And it's understandable why. Look at all this beautiful seafood.
Right next to the fish market, there's a gondola dock. These are the gondolas where you pay about €2 and they will take you across the Grand Canal. So it's a really cheap way to get a gondola experience, which is exactly what we did. This young. And we're off. This is kind of sketchy because there's a lot of traffic on the Grand Canal. So this guy has to make his way through and weave between a lot of different boats that are coming this way and that way.
That way, boat's coming that way, and we're going that way.
Adesso qua la barca il corrente ne porta verso sinistra, ora mi attagli un po' verso destra. Tira da guardare che non verso. Bravissimo, senza fare cioè fatica. Adesso comincia a mettere.
I fell in love with Venice all again. I mean, how could you not love Venice with crossing the canal like that?
Our next move was to take a vaporetto all the way back to the train station and then get on it again and take a vaporetto all the way to St. Mark's Square. You can see how high the water is there compared to the buildings. As we're going down the Grand Canal, we're listening to a Rick Steves tour of the Grand Canal.
To expand on Matt's comment about the Rick Steves audio, it's just an audio app, and you're in a city, you can look up on his little app, and he has all these free tours. You just plug in your headphones, and there we are cruising down the Grand Canal having a tour from Rick Steves.
The Academia Bridge is the only wooden bridge crossing the Grand Canal.
We just got a vaporetto pass for 5 days because it is so convenient just to have a ticket all the time and not have to buy a ticket or find a way to buy a ticket, and it was economically the best deal as well.
St. Mark's Square was our final destination for this vaporetto ride. The history these buildings have seen, it is just so profound in my heart when I see something like this.
Well, that was a day.
It was. I know,
We
had
basically
a
got
great
dropped
day.
off at St. Mark's Square, so
Yeah.
we'll be walking through that in a few minutes. That's a not a sucker.
What an incredible experience to be at St. Mark's Square and circle around and look at all these buildings that have so much history. When Venice experiences a high tide, the water rises up through the storm drain system and floods St. Mark's Square. We booked a tour of St. Mark's Cathedral and the Doge's Palace. It was kind of expensive, but when you do so, it allows you to cut lines and saves you a lot of time.
This morning, Tori went online to get tickets for the Doge's Palace and St. Mark's Basilica, and they were sold out. But what she did, she found a tour. Now we had to pay a lot more, but this tour, 6 persons max, and we cut through all the lines because the lines are really long. It's Disneyland long.
Yeah.
So
We got fast passes, basically.
we did. We're stoked.
We paid for them, but he was like, book it.
I've often experienced when you go into a significant church in Europe that the inside is a letdown compared to the outside. In this case, the inside was absolutely gorgeous. It was as if Versace designed the decor.
I want to say that the camera doesn't do the gold on this ceiling justice, but it kind of almost does. It is really this vibrant, and it is stunning. You can tell that Venice has and had a lot of money. This place is just breathtaking.
Their wealth is evident in all the gold, and also that blue color was very precious back then. So to have blue on the ceiling meant that they had a lot of money. Throughout Venice, you can see influences from the Orient, especially here inside the cathedral. It looks so Eastern to me. After St. Mark's Cathedral, we did the short walk over to the Doge's Palace. This is the courtyard inside the Doge's Palace. This is the Doge's gondola. The palace was a series of extremely ornate rooms. Each room had a function, but I was having a hard time understanding the tour guide. The tour left the palace and took us to the prison area, and we actually crossed the Bridge of Sighs. If you had a prison sentence, this was your last chance to look out at the city. Here's an example of a typical prison cell.
We're going to the academia neighborhood to meet up with a friend of Tori's. We're going to have some cicchettis, so we're looking forward to some local knowledge.
Tori's friend wanted to meet us at a bar famous for cicchettis. It happened to be right across the canal from where they make and repair gondolas. This bar was very vibrant. It was filled with locals and students, and the cicchettis were delicious. After that enjoyable experience, Tori's friend Danny took us so we could see a sunset. They wanted to take us to another bar to have a cicchetti. It's fried mozzarella cheese. To get there, we had to walk back towards our hotel. It was a really nice evening stroll. I learned that fried mozzarella is really good. The next morning we had a train to catch to take us back to Milan to fly home, and we stopped and had a coffee on the way, and it was a really great experience. The barista had a fantastic attitude.
Here we are, leaving Venice. I really like this city. It's got me all emotional leaving.
This is it for Venice for a very long time, probably. Who knows? Who knows?
That's a wrap on our Italy videos. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on our next adventure.
I don't think I've ever used this expression in my life until this trip, and I use it like 3 times an hour. To respond to some comments about us being tour guides, she can be a tour guide, me, hell no. That would be hell for me. By day 2, I'd be like, shut the fuck up and get on the bus. Where are we? Venice.
Venice.
What?